We've digested both sides of this equation. How do they break the impasse? What's likely happening today?
Hi, Manus. Yes, this is a pretty extraordinary crisis we're seeing at OPEC, the deepest it's faced for quite a long time. So all eyes will be on the meeting today, this afternoon, London time, to see if the countries, chiefly the UAE and Saudi Arabia, can bridge their divide, which is pretty wide at the moment. And instead of that divide sort of closing over the weekend, it looks as if it's widened, if anything.
With that in mind, does that mean that it's more unlikely at this point to bridge that wide divide, as you say, and strike a deal?
At the moment, it's pretty hard to see what they could do. OPEC Plus and OPEC, they're pretty used to, let's say, fudges, or what they might call elegant solutions to the various sort of spats they've faced in the past few years. But in this case, the Saudis and the UAE are both adamant about their stances. Saudi Arabia says the current OPEC Plus deal, which ends in April 2022, has to be extended until the end of next year for the good of the market. The UAE is digging in its heels and saying, no, that's not the case. We can talk about August production increases, and they support that, but they say the idea of extending the deal beyond April next year has to be treated separately, and neither side seems willing to budge at the moment.
No, but they chose Bloomberg as the court of debate, didn't they, with Masroui, first of all, and that brought the Saudis to the conversation right here on Bloomberg. So where are we if there's no deal? His Excellency Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman makes it very, very clear this is the comfort zone. That's what the market wants. That's what everybody else wants, except for the Emiratis.
Yes, so the UAE is on its own at the moment. I think the chances of an all-out price war similar to that we saw in March last year are slim at the moment. Both the Saudis and the UAE have said, and they said this categorically, that they will stick to their existing commitments. Which means they will stick to this deal, which runs until April next year. So probably the most likely scenario, if there's no deal today, is that there's no production increase in August, and then OPEC Plus meets again probably in a month's time, and there's a good chance they'll go through this all over again to try and convince the UAE about that extension.